Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Heartwell dev stream, the live stream series where I continue to develop this adorable Souls-like action RPG with platform mechanics and a branching narrative. And if you find these streams interesting or helpful, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and boop that bell button to stay notified. Also, hello Copper Nicholson, thanks for dropping by, man. How you been? What is this about Energizer batteries? Oh, you're talking about ads, I see. So, since the last dev stream, I've been quite busy, not so much with this section here, but rather working on that opening cutscene. So, I'm currently at like an animation implementation phase at this point. It's taking a bit longer than I thought it would, but I definitely feel like I'm getting faster at implementing these animations now that I have kind of a rhythm down and some programming knowledge for implementing those in a more efficient manner. So I really think within the next week or two I'll have those animations all done and implemented, and I'll be able to move on to some more interesting development topics like boss battle design or more different gameplay mechanics such as the wisdom at XP earning and things like that. Yep. Oh, I can hear you, Copper Nicholson. But as for what we'll be working on tonight, as per usual, we'll be switching out of Clickteam Fusion 2.5 tonight to focus more on the tiled map editor again. So, last dev stream we did a ton of level design. I mean, just a quick look at the main map. This whole section on the left was not here last dev stream until last dev stream happened, and now we're going to be focusing on building out the center path. Now, the center path is going to be a mix, kind of like, I want to call it almost a challenge path of sorts, because it is one of the ways you could escape this dungeon is through the center path that you can only get by completing the left and right path here. But that's only one of 3 ways to exit the dungeon. And I figured since the center path will kind of be going on like an even higher route than the areas seen beforehand, it's important that the center path is a worthy challenge, shall we say, given the build-up of the previous 2 paths. So that's what we'll be focusing mainly on tonight. So I'll close out Fusion 2.5. And we'll focus on that. But before we can really mess around tiled, it's important to go to our level diagrams and make sure we have a rough map out of how we'll do this. Alright, glad to hear you've been doing alright, Copper Nicholson. Haven't had a chance. You managed to apply for one more job. Nice, nice. Okay, that's cool. Glad you're enjoying Overwatch, Copper Nicholson. So, for those who haven't seen this before, this is a simple level diagram. It's nothing more than putting... it's a way to help map out the locations of various key elements in a level before I actually start trying to draw things together. In this case, something like C3 or A4 would refer to different level ideas I have, so ideas for a room or a section, and how they connect together. Same thing goes with items, keys, levers, and all that. So what we have here is the level diagram that we built up thus far for the left and right route in this dungeon, as well as just in the general overview of it all. All that's left, as you can see here, is that upper path. So we'll be focusing on that. And in terms of what those level sections will be for the upper path, I've come up with a couple ahead of tonight's dev stream. We might add a few more as we go. Depends on how much I feel we need. But the idea with these is, since at this point the player would have had to have gone through a fair amount of different scenarios with the 3 enemy types in this dungeon, here is where I start to get a bit more diabolical with the designs of these sections. But I think that'll become more apparent when I start drawing them out. So I think to start, what we'll do is we'll refer to this as these letters. Numbers there. even though it says A here, this I would actually consider this section D because A through C were the previous types. So we'll name it that. Hey, Snowflake, thanks for the alert. I really appreciate it. Thank you for dropping by. Welcome, welcome. All right, Copper Nicholson, no problem. Hope you have an awesome night then. But yeah, if you're looking Snowflake, that's fine. If not, how's it going? Let's see. We need... What are my plans for the holiday? Not particularly. Nothing particularly comes to mind, Copper Nicholson. In terms of games for the holiday, not sure. I might get some games that are on sale just to save some money on some titles, but I definitely, most of my free time goes to developing Heartwell, which should come as no surprise. But as a result of that, it just means that I still take a fascination with games and how they're designed, but I find myself just not having the time to really dive into a game outside of like the challenger and streams like I used to when I was younger. Nothing much, just been playing Stardew for the first time. Oh, I love that game. That game is Stardew so much. Stardew Valley is so much fun. Yo, you got back into Crosscode. You're doing no credits run? That's awesome. Not been all that hard. The game does pretty nice equipment. That's true, Snowflake. That's true. I'd be curious to hear how that turns out later on, though, because the best equipment can only be gotten in the shops. So, like, I think of like all the awesome end game equipment and how most of that you can only get in the shops with actual credits. So, I wish you the best of luck with that challenge run, though, Snowflake. And definitely keep me posted on how it goes. Yeah, I do think that a no credits run would probably be easier than a no at speed run, simply because you have access to leveling up and all the combat arts that entails. But still would definitely be more challenging than a regular playthrough, because a lot of the equipment would not be available, and you also wouldn't be able to just purchase consumable items on a whim, which would be another big deal. Well, I mean, besides, I don't know, maybe a board game, but that's not particularly likely. We occasionally play like Settlers of Catan or the Trail at House on the Hill when we're on vacation, but I don't think of anything like during the holidays. But what about you, Copper Nicholson? I should zoom in a bit more. This is a little hard to see. There we go. Yo, you just finished the Phosphor Temple. Nice. Got first place in the race. Oh, congrats. Congrats. I have a confession to make, chat. I have never beaten every single dungeon race in Crosscode. I know, shocking, right? But I mean, some of those dungeons, especially some of the later dungeons, you have to be like flawless to win those dungeon races, and that's on a normal playthrough. I mean, I was surprised we even beat one dungeon race with the stipulations imposed by... Actually, wait, did we even beat one dungeon? I feel like we did beat a dungeon race with the stipulations imposed by the No It's Speedrun, but it was like very close if I'm remembering correctly. Why? Copper Nicholson, why? Okay, so we have these. I already know where D6 needs to go, so D6 is going to be this. I think to make it more accurately proportioned, it's more like that. So it's that last climb up the well, so to speak, for one of the exits. May take a few tries. Yeah, but no, if you did have that achievement to win all the dungeon races in Assembly, that'd be really impressive, Snowflake. Slow down for me, Emily. Let me win. But Snowflake, if I were to slow down, that wouldn't be as much fun, none. After all, you know I want to win in too, right? I've got that competitive spirit. Okay, Copper Nicholson, that's up to you. Yeah. Besides that section, though, I definitely need to make sure we have enough going on with here. So, let's start out with the Brattle platform puzzle. Well, not puzzle, just the Brattle platform. Snatch path. Alright, I think what we do... There's a long platform. There's a lot of horizontally long sections here and only a couple winding ones. Yeah, that's a good point, Snowflake. Your water bill is going to be super expensive if you shower for 3 hours. That's a good point. Reusable water, you say? I'm not sure of that. So you're saying you found a way to speed up the water cycle, Copper Nicholson? Oh, I just thought of something. I just thought of a way to make this interesting. The section D2 here is a combined section, so I think we'll start with that one. It also could offer a lot of viability to chance of multiple passes. It would be a bit of a wider section. But I think what we do is D2. Then we find some way to connect in one of the horizontal sections. Okay, so Brattle on either end of a horizontally long platform. It's probably an easier one, so we'll go with actually, wait, no. That's not as easy as it looks. Well, it is for an item, though. And a good one at that. Alright, in that case, I think what we do... Well, then again, just to get here in the first place is hard enough unto itself. Go with... situation where only projectiles or go with this one to get ourselves to item 4, so upstairs 11. I actually think that one's pretty challenging. We also, if I remember correctly, don't have a lot of space here, so we gotta make the most of it. Yeah, all right. Now we'll go with D1 to upstairs 11. Alright, no problem, Copper Nicholson. Oh, also, Snowflake, since you're here, I know you said you're working on the challenge run. Did you also mention, I think I remember you mentioning before that you had like a game you wanted to work on or like an idea for that. How's that going? Go with D3 for item 5.
Remember all the happy times we had.
Okay, you've been doing some research, looking into other games in the genre, want to do a rhythm game. Wasn't sure how we want to implement it, so you've been looking at other rhythm games, seeing how they do it, and kind of picking out different things you like. Oh, that's awesome, Snowflake, and that's an excellent thing to do when you're designing a game, is to look at other games, items from a similar genre or with mechanics that might be useful, and see if anything speaks to you. I mean, oftentimes I find like, and this isn't just with game design, it goes into other things too. You find that the they say that all work is derivative. So in the case of Heartwell, I'll use this just as the obvious, the most apparent example on screen. The circular level design here is very much inspired by like how Dark Souls 1 designs its dungeons, but the gameplay mechanic of using the left mouse button for to control both melee and ranged attacks, depending on the location of the mouse cursor, that's an idea. That was an idea that I saw first in Crosscode, and I thought, that's a really smart mechanic, and it makes sense, and it also kind of fits for what I'm going for here. So again, that's an example of work being derivative, because you're taking inspiration from multiple different sources that you like and kind of putting your own spin on it, so in order to create something new. Out of curiosity, what rhythm games have really spoke to you as you've done your research? Since I'm admittedly not as familiar with rhythm games. And I mean, to me at least, the challenge with a rhythm game is really making it unique, since there's so many. There's a lot of them to just end up being like a Dance Dance Revolution clone if you're not careful. But that could also just be me not understanding the subtle nuances of all the different rhythm games out there. let's see here. Okay, so out of all the ones I've designed, I feel like these two are probably the evilest. But I think we'll actually put D4. No. I think the most challenging one, like D4 is going to be a challenge unto itself. Really, let's put D5 here. Takes us to upstairs 7. Then we get upstairs 7. Probably go into D4 on the right here. And that leads to the climb. Just like that. Oh, careful there, Copper Nicholson. Be safe. Alright, right now your main inspiration has been a game called Wandersong. It does something kind of similar vibe to what you want. Okay, that's cool. You do game with rhythm parts, but also has some platforming puzzles. Ooh, cool. You want to combine the platforming part with the rhythm game, having the platforms move to the rhythm, having attached to the rhythm, and everything going the rhythm. Okay, okay. So, do you see it as like a situation where the level just happens to be designed around a song? I think of like, there were some old Flash games where you'd have to run to like an infinite parkour puzzle of sorts and jump on the beat of things in order to survive. Or is it more so like, I guess the layer of the Necro Dancer where you kind of move to a beat that you sort of control? Or you think it's something else entirely, where it's like the actual act of moving is what creates the music in the first place. If you were to stand still, perhaps the music just isn't going at all. And there's a bunch of different ways you definitely play that. I'm just trying to think of what you're going for with the idea. Okay, that's fair stuff. Like, it is still early in the process, but are you at the very least, like, do you have some place where you write the stuff down, whether it's pen and paper or a a Word document somewhere or a Google document somewhere. He does. I'm a big believer in, if you have any idea, no matter how small it may seem or how trivial it may seem, you should write it down, because you never know what it might be used for. Awesome, glad to you've been taking notes. That's really good. Keep up the good work then, and I wish you the best of luck with developing your game concept there, Snowflake. And of course, as you get more details, you're always welcome to share what you're working on or ask for feedback in the Game Dev Share channel on the Discord server, because that's what it's there for other developers pursuing their passions to get some good feedback and keep moving forward. All right. But yeah, in terms of layout, I think this will do. I just want to see if there's more of a way I might be able to tie this into the different sections here, because I'd really love to have a situation where the player has to kind of go over the places they were at before. I just think that'd be a really cool way to tie this all together. But at this point, we can't do that from just looking at a map like this. We need to go to the map editor. So, phase 2 chat, actual implementation. Well, actually, I'm also realizing that if we're going to be going over previous areas, we are definitely going to need some higher platforms than how do we go? 7? Yeah, we need more than 7. So let's rectify that. Alrighty. Question for me, how do I like the concept of ecto characters? So by ecto characters, I'm assuming you mean like the ecto fighters of Super Smash Brothers, where the character has the same movesets and abilities as a character that already exists, but perhaps there's a different skin applied or different sound effects or things like that. So I think the concept of ecto fighters is fine. And I love it when people are when developers are creative with like their skins or their I guess their ecto ideas for a gameplay style. But at the same time, I genuinely think adding a unique gameplay style will usually be more interesting than just copy pasting over an initial style. But at the same time, I can respect that with ecto fighters or ecto characters, you could get a lot more. You can get a lot more representation or unique looks and such without destroying your gameplay balance. Yeah, so I think what I'd say is it's fine and it can be implemented well and in interesting ways, but as always, it will be preferred to have actual new characters added or new concepts tried. So, does that answer your question, Copper Nicholson? So, if I were to use Smash Ultimate as the example, or just Super Smash Brothers in general, I think in a fighting game like that, ecto characters are great because you can preserve your game's balance while still adding a lot more characters. But to that end, I actually think that a lot of fighting games don't push that far enough, in that they could really just go crazy with a bunch of different skins for different characters and thus get a lot more intriguing representation in their games if they were willing to go all out with that. But generally speaking, I've noticed that outside of like MOBAs, you don't really see too many unique, like really, I'd say echo-worthy stints, as opposed to say a recolor or a different set of clothes for a character that already exists. Oh, that's interesting, Copper Nicholson. No, that definitely sounds like a fun skin. Very much holiday themed. Copy and right. That should do with that. Turn to the map editor. Okay, what kind of characters do I want to see in the games I play? It would be impossible to port every character to every game, but maybe there's a few playstyles you prefer to have represented as a new character. Okay, that's a fair question. Example. I know this would never happen in a million years, but imagine how cool it would be if one of the more, we'll say, brawler kind of characters in Super Smash Bros. Brawl to have like an Emily skin from Crosscode, for example, because Emily's all about punching. I think that would be super cool, and like I would be down to play characters that I wouldn't normally play just because of that skin, even though it's functionally not any different from, say, Little Mac or some other character like that. Exactly, stuff like Emily, let's go. Same thing goes with Hack Kid. Like, could you imagine what would be a good one to? I'm trying to think of what Smash character would make the most sense to have be Hack Kid. My thing is, it would have to be one of the smaller characters that has both a melee weapon of some kind and some kind of ranged attack. You know, actually, now that you mention it, Snowplay, Hack Kid as like Ness or Lucas, that would be interesting. Either that or one of the Mario characters, it would definitely fit. Because my thing is, you just need something that's Hack Kid's, I'd say, potions could be, that fits with one of the tinier characters. So you can figure that out, and they can have a melee weapon, but there you go. There's your Hack Kid, Echo. Alright, so first one's first, we need D2, 3 Cobra along horizontally long platforms, winding path beneath. Alright. That's a good question, Snowflake. So the Smud Dorothy, the Smud Heartwell emote you see there was made by our very own KK Sparks. I I think Twitch has opened up a bunch of new emote slots for affiliates, so I've decided to go for commissions for some emotes for the Twitch channel. So in the coming weeks or possibly months even, KK Sparks will be making some emotes for the channel, which I'm excited for. Oh, absolutely, Snowflake. I am taking emote ideas now. If you want to offer emote ideas, I highly encourage you to post your ideas in, I think it's the stream feedback channel on the Discord server. That's where we're accepting different emote ideas. So yeah, I strongly encourage Snowflake. Oh, you're saying you want to make one? Well, if you want to just post ideas, you can do that in the Discord feedback. Or if you'd like to, actually like design one, I'm always interested in seeing what you'd be interested in working on. So yeah, feel free to send me a DM if you want to collaborate on that stuff. I think that'd be a lot of fun. How about a mode of Dorothy? Let you on run fast? No, I refuse. Copper Nickel said no. But yeah, feel free to send me a. Yep, feel free to send me a DM if you want to physically make one, Snowflake, or if you just want to offer ideas. That's what the Discord feedback channel is for. I almost wonder if the drafts actually has a. No, we have one where we have a bunch of vertically long this one right here. Okay. Knowledge, no, we are not eating the knowledge for dinner. That's a terrible idea. No. I made a mistake. Oops. Alright, let's see here. Maybe interested in echo fires for franchises that create dissonance in the genre of the game they're in. Okay. Yeah, that'd be interesting, Copper Nicholson. I agree. Definitely gives us a bit more variety. Where is this stuff? Oh. The doy. Here we go. But yeah, what about you, Copper Nicholson, Snowflake? What kind of echo fires would you all be interested in, if given the choice? Porting Dorothy Heartwell to Mortal Kombat? Oh no. I'll do this Copper Nicholson. That sounds like an interesting idea. Going over to the right would make sense. So something like this. I mean, it kind of depends on how the player decides to make their that's class isn't the right word, but like what weapons they choose to equip with Dorothy and things like that. The thing is, Copper Nicholson, Dorothy's fighting style would definitely be like a cross between the Chosen Undead from Dark Souls 1 and Leia from Crosscode. So do with that what you will. That character sort of play spans put them into more fast-paced environments. Multiple weapons in the game. Maybe she have a pilot. Oh yeah, that could work. Where she did switch between like her book, maybe the rocks for long distance, close range. Ah, fair enough. Oh, actually, you know what? In that case, it would probably be more akin to, you know how Shulk can switch between those different, I guess, art styles or something. Probably with Dorothy and the Manifest would be like that. Like if Dorothy was actually in Smash, she would pull open the Manifest and you'd have to very quickly switch to, we'll say, a different weapon, a different weapon combination, whether that's, like you said, Fists and Rocks being the defaults, and then it could swap, it could swap up all the way to like some of the endgame weapons. That would be pretty interesting. You obviously wouldn't be able to represent every single weapon, because that wouldn't work in endgame like Smash, but you could have at least a decent variety of them. Yeah, I like the idea, Snowflake. Alright. So I think this here will be the... Actually make this a little more compact if we want to, but I don't want to go that far. Actually, no, we should. We should. Okay, so this will be the little windy path we have to get us started. Yes, Rena's Genji. Yes, so much yes. I'd be all for that. 1000%. Toa, I think, is more of like a support commanding character, Copper Nicholson, so maybe not something that makes a whole lot of sense for Smash. Let's put this here. Actually kind of works out. Alright, and let's grab some Cobras. So, boop, boop, boop. Let's do our rattlesnakes as well. Made our classic little rattlesnake path of shenanigans. Maybe Copper Nicholson. Depends. Depends how mobile Toa is. That's not something I'm aware of. Million is Diva. Yeah. 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 Most certainly. Right. All right. That means this section's implemented. Or rather, it's drawn, so we got that out of the way. Oh, that'd be Copper Nicholson. Oh, you're just trying to say, let me think. We want to do the main character from Portal? Oh, GLaDOS, no! Why? I mean, I can imagine GLaDOS like an announcer, but why? Explain that, Copper Nicholson. Explain that. No, GLaDOS with a no! I'm trying to imagine. Hold on. You're making me try to imagine what this sounds like. For your own safety, be sure not to damage the vital testing apparatus, Reen. No, no, that is it. Tell should not be GLaDOS. Excuse me, sir. Let me guess, Milliam's the Wheatley voice? I mean, Milliam would be the Wheatley. She totally would be Wheatley. Let's be real. I just try to imagine the utter chaos that would be. Actually, you know what? No, that should be just like, make a voice pack for Portal 2 that just has Trails of Cold Steel characters for all the voice actors. That'd be hilarious. Honestly, you know who would make a better GLaDOS than Toa? Sarah. Like either Sarah or Sharon. They'd both be I think hilarious for different reasons as GLaDOS. Reen gets to be no. In that case, Sarah has to be GLaDOS. If Reen's going to be Cell, there's no other way. I refuse. All right. Speaking of things, do horizontally one. Okay, this one. Okay. So we need horizontally long platforms. I think there's an opportunity to use one. Well, actually, here. right here should be a spot that should work, because it is just a, or like either here or here. I have to put in a pretty lengthy section here. Yeah, all right. No, Sarah would not be James Johnson. James Johnson would be... Burn down the house with lemons, Reed! No, no. That's... What, are you saying a Team Fortress 2 voice pack with physical steel characters? Dr. Nicholson. Alright, after this will be a dead spot to take a break, guys, so don't worry about everyone, I will be right back. Alrighty, chat. Welcome back, everybody. So, trying to wrap my head around how to lay this out, because we pull up the upper route here. The door up will have to come up. The door leading upwards to the back to the main section of the well is going to have to come up either around here or here to make any sense. So, to that end, I think we need to make use of the space down here if we want to be as effective as we can be. Like either that or either make use of the space down here or start overlapping things. Say as D4 is a winding hallway scenario, and that requires, well, actually, maybe it doesn't need to be a hallway per se. It could just be a winding path, and that would be very evil. But that's part of it. So yeah. We have a winding path that goes like around one of, probably around some of these corners. Actually, this could be something we use. If I had infinite time, infinite resources, what kind of echo? Well, it won't be Echo Fighters, Copper Nicholson, it'd just be Stins at that point. Because it would still all be the same gameplay mechanics. But if I could have infinite time, infinite resources, I would say probably some of the other characters in this game. Like, how cool would it be if you, and by changing the stins, I don't just mean just the animations and attacking and all that, I mean even like the character portraits, like to change all the animations to a different stint. I think that would be really cool. Whether it would be different clothes for Dorothy, or perhaps different characters just for the memes, but that is not something I'm considering within the scope of my current development projects, because there's too many things that I don't think would quite work out due to the limitations of Fusion 2.5. And how complex of a game I want to make. No, there is not Copper Nicholson. In this game, there is one character, but that you can play as. But I'm saying you were asking the question if I had infinite money and resources. That's where this is coming from. The main character is Dorothy, Copper Nicholson. That is the character you play as. I'm just saying you asked the question if I had infinite money and resources, what stins would I add to my game, and was my answer. But I don't have infinite money and resources, so that's not happening. Does that answer your question, Copper Nicholson? We need stairs here. For this to work, this needs to be at a higher elevation. Well, Copper Nicholson, there's going to be, of course, a ton of NPCs and bosses and things like that, but in terms of playable characters, there's just the one, so Dorothy. But that's it's a single player game. Dorothy's the only character you play as in this game, Copper Nicholson. I don't think I can be any clearer on that than what I've already said. Well, yes, Copper Nicholson, there will have to be NPCs in a game like this. It's a Souls-like game. Well, that's all you've seen so far, Copper Nicholson. A lot of story-related stuff is being kept very close to my chest at this point, since the demo's not out yet. So, I mean, when the demo's out yet, there's not gonna be more than snakes, silly. But there'll be actual characters that can be talked to and things like that. But to some extent in the demo, but that for particular scenes. But that still needs to be implemented. Yep, to be fair, Snowflake, I kind of have to. It's a very story-heavy game, so I mean, when the demo's out, of course, go crazy, theory craft all you want with what's provided. But I'm just saying, like, before that, I don't want to reveal too much so that doesn't, like, take the hype out of the sales of the demo itself. And I say sales metaphorically, not literally sales as in like sales on sale, but No, Copper Nicholson, no. So I tell the Ceatress, then it's not, then there's no, that's not as interesting. Alright. E1. I don't think I said it explicitly on stream, but I will mention that that is something I kind of say Snowplay. So Dorothy Heartwell is 24 years old. Nope. She's definitely an adult, but more of a... I definitely say definitely on the underside of adults. Not for Nicholson, no spell was required. I was going to... No, there was no spell. You asked something I could actually talk about, so there you go. Actually, no, we should put it out there because that's where it's going to be. Boop. Boop, boop, boop. Wait, no. Teach me the ways of the Force. I'm dead, Copper Nicholson. I'm dead. Thanks for asking. Okay, there we go. No, Copper Nicholson, no. I refuse. Yep. Hello, Stizzle. Thanks for dropping by. How you been? Welcome to Dev Stream. Thought you could make this more compact. Doing good. How's usual routine? How's it all going? I'd say it's going well. There's a lift, so right now we're in the midst of creating the middle route in the dungeon. We outlined the diagram a bit more to flesh out how these different sections are supposed to connect up. And now we're trying to put those all together.
Very much alike.
Remember all the happy times we had.
Very much alike.
Let's see. Can I change the array of something Christmas themed? That's a good question. Let me chat for a second.
All right. I'll tell you
Do
the
we
truth.
have holiday themed tracks? We do. All right. Let's see what we got. Yep. Hooray for Christmas music, agreed. Or holiday music, I should say. Yeah. That's what you have to tell Copper Nicholson. This is... Music we're listening to right now is, as far as I'm aware, royalty-free, which is important. Yeah, it's a very real thing, Copper Nicholson. It's a very annoying thing, but a very real thing. Yeah. I mean, you want to... Yeah, it's a very real thing, Copper Nicholson. Yo, the Arch guy, long time no see. How you been? Welcome to DevStream. Okay, so you're probably wondering what is this? So this is a level design screen. The Arch guy probably make a lot more sense if you saw it like this. So we're effectively mapping out the levels themselves, or the dungeon itself, before implementation. So to give you an idea of just how massive this is, the main map kind of conveys this. So you see over here on the top right, whee! Lots of stuff going on here. So, working on level design right now. And once it's all implemented, then we'll be able to do... once the level's mapped out, then we can focus on coloring it in and actually implementing it in the game from a functional standpoint. But that's what we're up to, the Archdive. How about you? Yep, that's correct. So the numbers are indeed the heights. So 7 would be like height of 7, 1 is height of 1, and so forth. So there's actual platforming to be had here. And yeah. Yep. Realizing we need a... But it'll make more sense to go at it like this. Oh, my apologies, Snowplate, but that's the purpose of that of the section is to be that it's to be those different heights. So you can imagine like Dorothy would run through here, jump up, and so on and so forth. That's all it is. Yep, well, if at any point anyone in chat's confused, you're always welcome to ask questions and I'll do my best to answer them. Yep, no problem, Stufflay, no problem. I haven't played much of Overwatch, Chopper Nicholson, so I'd just be speaking from my own understanding of Overwatch. And to that end, if I could play Overwatch in terms of tanks, I wonder what tanks are. I don't remember what tanks are even in Overwatch. It might be Sizzle, but I honestly don't know. Interesting Sizzle, I was not aware of that. Very cool. Alright. I think that'll do with this section. Let's throw in the enemies real quick. So, Cobra up there. Mm-hmm. I think May Copper Nicholson, if I'm remembering correctly. with ice attacks. Yep, Copper Nicholson. Yep. Alright, so this is actually D7 now. I'll make that D1. So for the well itself, it should end up somewhere around here. Door just so we know where we're going. That has enough space, that's good. That's it. Alright. Add that in there. Also, hello, Brad, Chopper, Nicholson, and hello, KJ Sparks. Thanks for dropping by. How you been? Oh, cool. How's that, by the way, KJ Sparks? You enjoying it? Oh, music is a little loud. Okay, I'll turn it down. Sorry about that. Hope that's better. Yeah, glad you're doing well. Currently in the middle. As for me, currently in the middle of some design work here. Which is coming along slowly but steadily, I think. It's interesting trying to make a middle section here because there's so much that's already been established, and it's a game of trying to avoid overlapping something that's too that already exists. Careful. Good question, KJ Sparks. This actually isn't a forest. It's actually more. I think it's more like a dungeon. It's in a well of sorts. So, for reference, this is kind of more the aesthetic that it'll be. Oh, and I agree, Snowflake. KJ Sparks, you did an amazing job with the first emote, and I'm really looking forward to the other emotes that you'll be creating for sure. I really like the Smud Dorothy emote. It's very smud, but also very adorable, and it basically it's perfect for what it needs to be. Yep, no problem, KJ Sparks. There. Go. No, Chopper Nicholson, no. We've been over this, Chopper Nicholson. That wouldn't make any sense. Just before doing that, I'll say this. I actually really like this one, so I'll like that. And get back to it. You stop it is Manifest Destiny. No! No. I refuse. Excellent use of the emote, JJ Sports. That's amazing. Ooh. Oh, awesome, JJ Sparks. That sounds fun. Oh yeah, Copper and JJ Sparks, how does the writing for the D&D campaign? Y'all having fun making characters? as well. All right. Well, Copper Nicholson, that's more. That doesn't really help you too much in terms of writing the character. That's just memes. Ah, fair enough, JJ Sparks. Sometimes life can get busy. Makes sense. Just realizing that's not going to work because there's enough space there. So I'll just shift everything down a smidge. Actually, I want to shift it down one more still. Did you know? Oh, really? I actually did not know that. Yeah, I don't typically play, I guess, magic-based characters all that often. So, that's pretty cool, Copper Nicholson. I guess it makes sense that I guess some races in Dungeons & Dragons would naturally be better at spellcasters, whether for cultural reasons or for just magical divine reasons. Depends, Copper Nicholson. So, in the case of one of my Dungeons & Dragons characters, they focus so heavily on, I guess, more distraction-oriented tactics and physical attacks that it's better for my character to just focus entirely on those than to invest in spells and spread themselves too thin. All depends on the character. It's similar to how a ranger, like some kind of ranger character, is going to invest heavily in any kind of thing that improves their archery or ranged kind of attacks, but maybe at the sacrifice of close quarters kind of things. But that's, again, that all focuses on building up the character. Min-max, as they say. Alright, so chat, you're probably looking at this and you're thinking, Antomicx, why is this here? Like, what purpose does this section serve? Well, glad you asked, because this is probably a fairly diabolical combination that seems very simple on the surface, but when you see it, you realize just how it's this. So, the thought with this section, since it is a challenge section to get for the player to get a heal, to permanently increase their healing item, they have to not only deal with this Cobra on this long path, but they have Brattles attacking them with a ranged attack from both the left and right directions. Which means the player needs to figure out a way to safely get from one end of here to the other without getting destroyed by the Brattles or the Cobra. And to top off the stakes, if they happen to mess up and fall down, well, they have a massive amount of backtracking to go through before they can try again. Which I think makes it fitting for its purpose there. Antomicx evil confirmed now. Listen, we're at the end. Like, this whole middle section, the only way to get to this middle section in the first place is to complete the left and right sections of the dungeon. So at this point, the player's already gone through the easier stuff. It's time for me to go just a little bit harder. Just a smidge. We're not at endgame levels of evil yet, but we are at end of the first dungeon levels of evil. however you want to see that. Because, I mean, this section here does a similar thing, except on a vertical plane, and that's for a different reward. And not to mention just combining all the rattlesnake tunnels with... I think this, honestly, is eviler than this section, because it combines the rattlesnake tunnel with cobras in very tight... with Brattles in very tight spaces. So you have to navigate this, but there's acid coming your way, too, so... Oh, it's going to be glorious chaos. Which makes me excited. Alright. Which sections was that? Was that section? Okay, that leaves us D1, D5, and D6. No, actually, no. Okay, so what I'm imagining for this last section, chat, is since we have an extra section to work with, we should try to have like a windy path here. So this is the well. No, not that. Pull this up. You see this tunnel here? This is supposed to be the well itself, so very long, straight section. Very tall. So, my thought is, for this last segment before one of the potential exits, if you recall from here we have exit 2. It's going to be kind of a windy path towards the well, so we'd start here, probably go into the well for a little bit, section out here, into the well again, section out here, well once more, and you're out. Yep, the well in Heartwell. This dungeon puts the well in Heartwell. Yep. You have to keep in mind that this spot right here, so this little plus sign area here, this is where the player starts to begin with, so they're starting at the bottom of this well. Naturally, escaping from that way is finally one of the potential ways out of the dungeon. No, Cameron Nicholson, no. You have to understand, this entire thing is the tutorial. So, well, I should say it's the tutorial dungeon, not the tutorial. The tutorial's, it's the tutorial dungeon, so not super far at all in the game, in terms of context. But I think you'd agree that this is, just by the complexity of this is a much more involved tutorial dungeon than what you probably see in a lot of other games. But I think it'll be a lot more entertaining too, just because I'm actually trying to make full use of the starting sections of gameplay mechanics. So the only thing we have left, well, that's where that goes. We actually have to focus on the top side now, because the bottom side here is, I think, all done. At least in terms of mapping purposes. So for funsies, chat, let's zoom out a little bit. Oh dear, nope. Okay. So this monstrosity, chat, is the entire underside, we'll say lower level of the tutorial dungeon. You can kind of see how, like, here's the left path, and the right path, and the center path. So, I'm just glad to see it. I'm happy to see it all start to come together. Ooh, they have which team member from Ruby to do a redesign of the dance outfit? Would you be willing to do Nora Valkyrie, KK Sparks? That's one of my favorite characters from Ruby. But yeah, now that we got the lower dungeon out of the way, I think we'll focus on the well itself now. So you'll notice this area obviously it's less involved than the lower area, and that's because the well is going to take up a fair amount of that. So let's see here. So we want to do D1 first. Yes, that's her KJ Spark. Also, yes, so much yes. Definitely give Nora a Thor vibe for her dress. Like maybe have lightning or something, or just heavy armor. That'd be so cool. I'd be all for that. So in terms of section D1 is Brattle top of too long. Oh, it's that one. I see. Okay. If we're gonna do that one, we need a long horizontal path. Which I think we can get here, actually. Actually, we could kind of like have it interspliced within the well itself. Well, no, I don't want it to be like that. No. Give it more involved than that. The other tricky thing about this chat is I want to make sure that there is a shortcut opened up somewhere from the top of the well to the bottom, but only when you get to the very end. So we'll need to keep some paths open. Might want to start with just making a section, so or just go for stairs, that'd probably be easier. Actually, no, we don't want stairs, we want sure a jump up point. Okay then. MJJ Sparks, yeah, definitely like a nice dance dress for wife would be cool. No pun intended. Alright, take this actually be a spot for a break, so don't worry guys, I'll be right back. Alright, chat. Welcome back, everybody. All right. All right, so wow. Not sure, Copper Nicholson. Maybe Netflix. Careful. Not sure, Copper Nicholson. Oh, that's a good idea, TJ Sparks. I know that's from Disney Snow White. I like that idea. Yo, Blake wearing a bell dance outfit. I like that. I like that. It's on JJ Sparks. Yep. Mm-hmm. See here. Got that in. Careful here. Fair enough, Copper Nicholson. Well, I hope you have. I do hope you have a good rest of your night. Rest of your night. Alright, so what's left? Love that horizontally long platform. Okay, fair enough, Copper Nicholson. Does Dark Souls have a no, Copper Nicholson. Not that I can think of. Except like water. Dark Souls doesn't really have any... Dark Souls doesn't have too many consumables that... I should say it doesn't have too many consumables, right? So the only thing I can think of are, like, its holy elixirs, the Estus flasks, and of course, some holy water, things like that. Well, Copper Nicholson, if I don't have access to my dev tools, I would probably just write something on my phone for Heartwell, or write down various ideas, or I'd go work out. Stuff like that. Yep. Oh, that makes sense, Stage Sports. Yep, I agree. But, like, your phone's a great place to take notes and stuff like that. Especially if you have ideas for stuff to work on. I mean, sometimes when I'm at the gym and I'm in between sets of reps for a particular machine, what I'll do is I'll pull up my phone and write something quick, whether it's for Heartwell or for a script or something like that. Or just an idea I have for Dungeons & Dragons, just... Yep, make good use of the downtime between sets. I know it exists, Copper Nicholson, and that's about it. I know that show exists, and that's about it. I don't know, Copper Nicholson. Delightful. Oh, nice, Copper Nicholson. Congrats. Alright, I know I've gone silent for a while now, chat. But it has been done, chat. The central path is, well, created. I mean, look at it, it's glorious. We have our little well section. And bear in mind, in order to even get to this section, we have to come at it from the lower path down here, which we also created. So everything in the middle here, both the low and the lower level and the upper level have been created. So I'd say in terms of raw dungeon design, outside of adding like maybe some extra rooms for lore bits, or of course the boss arenas are going to be their own separate thing. This is the starting dungeon, or at least a rough draft of the starting dungeon. So yeah, I think that I'd say all that was a very effective use of the dev stream tonight. Definitely coming along. Got me very excited. So I think I'll start to wrap things up right here then. 10 out of 10. Aw, thanks everybody. I mean, you guys have been here to see this every step along the way. It's been granted, I've only been working on this. I've been working on this level design for the most part during dev streams. So there's spans where I'm focusing on other stuff off the dev streams. But even so, like if for the sake of argument, I had just sat down and done this for just days upon days upon days, this would have taken a fair amount of time, especially since this is the first one. So I'm glad we made some good progress, and looking forward to either working on future dev streams to color this out a bit more, or to start working on the boss arenas or things like that. Anyway, I will start to wrap things up here though. So if you're watching here on Twitch, feel free to stick around for a raid. But if you're watching here on YouTube and you like what you saw, please consider subscribing at YouTube. It's free to subscribe on YouTube. You can always change your mind later. It's a great way to show support. If you're watching on YouTube, I hope you have an awesome night.